Hey, I'm Red. You're watching Pirate Garage. We're here at LA Sleeves, about to drop off my block for the all-wheel drive EM2. We're gonna go talk to the guy real quick, see if we can get a tour, and show you guys what they're all about. Come on. Here's my K24 block, K24A2. We're gonna get this thing all done up. It's a little dirty, a little old, a little rusty, but it's gonna be brand new when we're done. A little heavy. How you doing, man? I'm Red.
I'm Dave.
Yeah, here to drop off my block, get these sleeves installed.
Okay. No problem. What are we doing for the build?
We're just gonna do a fully built K24, 11 compression, some nice rods, and
What's your desired horsepower?
probably about 800.
Okay, no problem.
800?
These will be fine.
Yeah, I plan on maybe pushing about 25 to 30 pounds of boost max. Gonna use some CP pistons, all coated,
Okay.
and some Potter rods.
Okay.
So, but first step, I gotta drop this off and get you guys to machine it up for me.
No problem. And to give you an idea, this particular setup, that's for drag racing only.
Okay.
You know, a lot of guys do want that because it looks like it's a better, more stout, sleeve setup. But honestly, it's overkill for the street and for most drag racing applications. So what you're doing there is going to be perfect, especially for the street.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly a street car. You know, I plan to take this car to the track and drive it back.
Okay.
Yeah, hit up Verona, California Speedway.
Okay.
Maybe Qualcomm if they don't tear that stadium down.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
what do you think about the block? You think this will be a good core for us to machine up?
Yeah.
It didn't have any damage. Nothing wrong with the crankshaft. Nothing wrong with the bearings. I cleaned it up for you a little bit.
Okay.
So remove some of that loose oil.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if there's any apparent fractures anywhere. Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
No, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I picked this up from the junkyard. It just had a failure for the oil pump tensioner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was making noise, but there was nothing wrong with it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I look forward to getting this done. And another thing too is since this is a TSX block, it has the oil squirters. So I think that'll help out a little bit for the street.
Absolutely for
Keep
the
those
street.
pistons nice and cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. So tell me again too. These are what's considered an open deck sleeve versus a closed deck.
Right.
I mean, why would you think that a closed deck sleeve is not necessary for a street car?
Well, again, it's a great illustration right here. If you look at the sleeve package. So, what the closed deck is doing for you, it does two things. Okay. It's going to allow you to throw more boost in the block, again, for drag racing. And what the wide deck or the closed deck as we call it, what that's going to do, it's going to help you for gasket seal.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's more surface for the gasket to sit down on and be stable. The open deck, on the other hand, what that's going to do, it's going to cool better. And cooling is really important,
especially for a street car.
For the street, right?
Yes.
So for drag racing, you're going to get a little bit more stability. Now we do some road racing motors with this closed deck version. And the reason is when you've got a car that has, say, an older frame, the torque that's on the frame will actually twist the block as it's in the motor. Okay. And the sleeves actually can start to pull themselves apart.
Yeah, they'll distort.
Right. So if you've got the closed deck, it's not imperative, but it can sometimes act as a preventative for gasket failure.
Okay.
Only on road course motors, like time attack, that type of thing.
But then again, I mean, on a time attack car and a road race car, I mean, the car is constantly moving. So you're getting constant airflow moving through that radiator, unlike a street car where you got stop and go, you got accelerating, slowing down, a lot more drastic than what you would see on a road course.
Right. Anybody that drives in the city, especially in Southern California, should not have this.
Yeah. A lot of people think that the only way to go is a closed deck, but I mean, it just when Honda designed this, I mean, these motors will always outperform most other manufacturers, and these aren't a closed deck block. Yeah. So a lot of manufacturers do it, but it's just not necessary.
Right. I mean, the weakest point of the sleeve is going to be the bore spacing anyway.
Okay.
And so you put the two sleeves together, as stout as they look.
Yeah, there's really not that much room.
Right. You still have this bore spacing here. So as far as strength, this is actually just as strong as a closed deck.
Yeah.
And it runs cooler.
I also I heard that the factory sleeve is about 30,000 psi tensile strength.
Right.
Versus an aftermarket sleeve, a ductile iron, which is about 100,000.
113,000.
Wow, 113,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot stronger.
A lot stronger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, if you could kind of show us your facility, kind of show us where my block is going to get cut up, and
let's get the tour.
Okay. Let's go. Come on, Tim.
This is where we stage everything that comes in the LA sleeve. So we've got, this is for instance a V6 Cadillac, Porsche 996, K24 Honda, Subaru blocks, motorcycles, ATVs, jet skis, V6 Mercury boat blocks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Mitsubishi 4B11. Everything comes in here. If you look on the shelves here, we've got cores for motorcycles, ATVs, jet skis, snowmobiles, shifter cart motors, dirt bike, obviously, same. Harley Davidson, Polaris, that type of stuff. Everything comes in here. We serial number everything that we do. Everything has a serial number on it. So when it leaves here, for the duration of its lifetime, if it ever has an issue out in the market, they give us the serial number on the block or on the cylinder, and we know exactly when we did it, who we did it for.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So then you guys can track everything, so you know what happened, when it happened, how, so then you can get better quality control.
Exactly. We've done that for about 30 years now. This is our 73rd year in business. So
you must be doing something right.
We got smart about 35 years ago and said, well, we'll serial number everything we do. And we've done millions and millions of sleeves and millions of sleeve jobs actually after all these years.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's what goes on here. Everything starts here and then goes outward into the shop.
Okay. Let's check out the next step.
This is our manufacturing site. We've got 26 CNC machines.
Wow.
We manufacture sleeves for all kinds of markets, both gas, diesel, industrial, aircraft. We do it all. And so everything starts here from its raw form, machined into its finished form. Okay. That's what goes into the blocks.
Great. Hey, got a quick question. What are these little sleeves for?
Okay. These are for Carrier air compressors.
Really?
Yeah. If you heard the name Carrier, it was a big deal during the election. Donald Trump tried to save Carrier, keep them in the United States. They were in Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a number of outfits throughout the United States. We make their sleeves.
That's cool, man.
American made.
Hey, you know what? Well, a big thing with my build too is almost everything that's going in my motor is made in California. Or at least the company is in California, and a few parts are even made in San Diego. I plan on using the fodder rods, which are literally a few miles from my place. Okay. And also to Brian Crowder.
There you go.
Yeah. So made in America, made in California.
So the sleeves start off as a casting like this. Turns into chips like you see there, and the finished product is what you saw on the tray. These are a big ring that we use for a Detroit Diesel Series 60. Okay. And these actually go on the outside of the sleeves in the block, and what happens is the sleeves in those engine blocks, there's so much compression that the sleeves vibrate. It wears out the deck surface of the block. And so what you do is you remove the sleeve liner, you take this piece, cut the deck of the block, hammer it into place, it refinishes the deck, push in a new sleeve, and it's good to go.
Well, so when you replace this, you're putting a new sleeve in there too?
Yes, with a new sleeve, yes.
But I mean, typically for a Detroit diesel, you're going to do a rebuild every, what, like 500,000 miles?
Yes, 500,000, yeah. Okay. Yeah, 350 to 500,000.
Yeah, so unfortunately that's not there's a lot out there, but that's a long time.
It is. Yeah. It is. Here's your basic raw casting right here. The Honda sleeves start from this type of raw material.
Wow.
Goes into the CNC here. Castings go into place. Come on over.
Check this out, Tim.
Castings go into the chuck, lock down on the sleeve, on the casting. The Machine tool center comes in, produces the sleeve as you see there, it drops off, and there you go.
Wow. That's pretty cool. This is a pretty serious machine right here. And it's even got a conveyor belt.
It does, yeah.
Keeps everything streamlined. Is this machine able to unchuck and rechuck itself?
Yes, all CNC operated, so we tell it what to do.
Okay.
Simply hit the button, it creates a sleeve, unlocks itself automatically, pull it out, and then the casting pushes itself out, and we continue over again.
For these rolls, I mean, how many sleeves can you get before you have to reload the machine?
3 to 4.
3 to 4?
Yeah.
Wow, that probably saves a lot of man-hour time.
It does, it does. We're big on employing people locally.
Yes.
We're a family business, and yet we know people locally, so we're big on keeping it in-house and with people we know, rather than going robotic, which is a possibility, but we'd rather not do that.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's better when you have an actual person looking at what's going on, and if there's a mistake, you know what? You can use basic human instinct to kind of figure out what the issue's going to be.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, some automation is great, but, you know, you still need that human touch.
Absolutely. So, I'll take you over to where we do some honing.
Okay, let's check it out.
K24 block, doing a big bore block for a customer up in Sacramento. He's going a 90 millimeter bore from 87 with a K series using Arius pistons. We do all the honing and torque plating here. We've got another K24 in the machine now.
That's probably a lot of business, huh?
Very much so. Come on in. This is a very unique machine. We had Sun and Hone build this machine for us custom, and it has 2 purposes. We can hone a block, and we can hone sleeves concurrently. For production, why it's so good is we can start one sleeve, hit the button. It's an NC machine, so it's half computerized. We can start one sleeve, switch to the next tool center, start another sleeve, hit the NC machine, it goes for that, and we just back and forth, back and forth. Excellent for production. And again, custom made, one of only 7 dual-headed machines that they ever made in the United States, believe it or not.
Is he about to start honing one of these blocks?
Yeah, he's setting up now. We got our torque plate on there, and he's getting ready to finish it up. That's what's going on here. Try to save all of our waste, as you can see. Aluminum from the block, or even when we're making aluminum sleeves, we'll save the waste from that. We try to recycle everything that we do.
So you guys will actually take some of your waste and recycle it in-house?
No, we have a company locally that comes in, takes all the waste for us, recycles it, and a lot of this is actually burned down into its raw form, and we recreate castings out of the waste.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
try to save everything we can.
Yeah, it comes full cycle.
Full cycle.
That's great.
This particular area here is where we cut all the ports into our sleeves, meaning for 2-stroke outboard motors, dirt bikes, ATVs, jet skis, snowmobiles. All the porting goes into the sleeves on these machines here. Also, when you notice on the K24 block had the flat side cut into the sleeve, we cut the flats on these milling machines here so they could sign these next to each other.
Yeah, so like right here, you can bolt the sleeve in and do all your cutting for the because two strokes, they typically don't have valves. So when the piston goes down, you got intake and exhaust going through literally the side of the sleeve.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Two strokes are still pound for pound the strongest motors in the world.
Well, isn't it also too a two-stroke, since you only have two strokes, it creates essentially double the power?
Yes, it does. Yeah, good point. Good point.
All right, check out the next step.
This is our block cutting machine. We'll take motorcycles, ATVs, like I said, Honda K-blocks, V-Series, V6 Nissan, whatever you can think of. This is a 5-axis CNC machine. Can handle any of the above. And this machine, if you want to come and get a shot of this machine does everything for us. What I mean by that is, we bore the cylinder.
Yes.
We deck the cylinder.
Okay.
If we have to, we could tap the bolt holes if it needs a time cert.
Wow.
We hone on this machine as well. Fly cut the deck, it does everything for us. So it's really a valuable tool that we use here.
Yeah, and since you said it was a 5-axis CNC, instead of having to, remove the piece, move it, and reclamp it, since it has 5-axis, it can basically get anywhere, right?
Anywhere, yeah.
Without having to reset up the part.
That's correct.
Yeah. And also too, this doesn't quite look like an engine block. We do some transmissions right here.
We do rebuild transmissions here as well. Whatever the market asks for, we try to provide a service for it.
Well, these are some expensive machines. You got to keep these things going 24/7.
That's exactly right. Another thing we've done for years is we actually produced our own raw cylinder castings and make our own 2-stroke cylinders.
Yeah, this looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice piece. This is for the Honda market right here, both bikes and quads.
It's
and
like for CRF?
CR250. CR250, exactly. So we've produced the casting, machined it all on this particular CNC machine, have the sleeves inserted, and we would sell an aftermarket package. You know, if you think about the aftermarket world in automotive racing, Dark World Products, they produced the aftermarket V6, V8 blocks. Okay. We did the same thing for the 2-strokes.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
See, I never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always heard of Dart, but you know what? That's pretty cool that you guys do motorsports for motorcycles and things like that. Yeah. This is a pretty nice piece, and you guys make some improvements to make it a little bit stronger.
We do. Oh yeah. It takes a motor that starts off with 38 horsepower and it ends up with 62 horsepower.
Wow. Yeah, doubling the horsepower is pretty serious.
Massive, very massive amount of power.
And then also too, I can see right here, these are, you have different ports for intake and exhaust.
Right, here's your exhaust port. Flip it around, there's your intake port. Fuel in, piston down, piston stroke up, combustion, creates your power, out the exhaust port.
Yeah, and
2-stroke.
Only in 2 cycles.
Correct.
Yeah, because the normal 4-stroke engine, you got suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Right.
This one is like suck, bang, blow.
Suck, bang, blow.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty cool, man.
When it's all said and done, what we do is we quality control all of our work. And I'll show you the QC office.
Great, great.
This is where we check all of our work when it's done. These 2 machines in here, they're a computerized measuring module. And what they do is we program into the machine if we've sleeved a block, check the deck height, we could check the mains as far as the taper. We check all of our sleeve dimensions in here, the bore dimensions, all on these 2 machines in here.
Wow, that's great.
So everything that's done is finished, measured here before it goes out the door. So when it's got that serial number, as I mentioned earlier, it has a job number that follows it all through the shop.
Wow.
So when it goes out the door, we know exactly what we did, what we sent.
So you use this machine to QC every block that leaves these doors?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize that it was that in depth.
It is that in depth, and that is for motors that require a finish sizing.
Okay.
Some companies will send us blocks where they would rather do the finish sizing themselves. In that situation, the deck is important, but not measuring the bores because they're going to bore and hone in their own shop.
Yeah, but when you bore and hone a block and you put a torque plate, I mean, the sleeves could possibly move. So really, when you guys do everything, it keeps everything in a house, everything is properly measured, everything is quality controlled.
Correct.
And everything will be 100% when it leaves that door.
Correct, yeah. You know, it's a misnomer because when a deck plate is on a block and it's measured while it's plated, you measure that bore from top to bottom and roundness, perfect. Okay. You pull that deck plate off, and it'll spring outward sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. So a novice gets a block, and they check the bore, and it looks like it's out of round or tapered. In reality, it's not. It's because it's not torqued down.
Okay.
Yeah. And so some motors require it, some motors don't actually.
Really? Yeah. Because you know what? When you tighten those bolts and you put pressure on stuff, I mean, sometimes things move.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to check your clearances with everything torqued down.
Right.
Things like that.
You know, I've argued this in the industry for many years, that you essentially a torqued motor, when it's finished honed, cannot be replicated a second time. And what I mean by that is when the motor's done here and it goes out to an engine builder and he begins to torque that block back together, the sizes will not measure the same.
Really?
And it's going to be off. I've made this argument for years, and some engine builders accept the argument and some don't.
Really? Wow. I mean, it's just engines that the tolerances, the clearances is so tight.
Yes.
That, I mean, if you have something
right, and
that's minor, it could fail.
That's true. And really what it does come down to is that's the reason for clearances.
Yes.
That's why you have a piston to wall clearance, because some motors are frankly going to be tighter in one hole than the next.
Yeah, because you have thermal expansion.
Exactly.
Because the steel sleeve is going to expand at a different rate than the aluminum piston.
Right.
So it's never going to be 100% the same.
Right.
So that you have to have those clearances versus like a cast piston needs less clearance than a forged piston because the forging is actually going to expand.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is it. You know, here's some of the things we'll check when a block comes in. We'll actually flip it over and we'll check the mains from one end to the other just to make sure that they're straight.
Okay.
Another misnomer is when a block is sleeved, it has to be line honed or line bored. It's really not the case because the sleeves actually does not push material in this area.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you could see it's pretty far if you want to check that out, Tim.
Yeah, you bring it on in tight.
It's almost like 2 inches from the top of that main.
Right.
So, I mean, when you cut that out, I mean, you're not really distorting it. All you're doing is just cutting material out and pressing in a new piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I can't imagine how it would distort that block, especially when, if you're going to press something, the block is going to be sitting flat.
Right.
So it's going to have that pressure like it would normally have anyways.
Right, but a good engine builder on a high-end motor, they're going to line hone or line bore the mains anyway.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, a Honda block, they're pretty good from the factory.
They're very good.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why these motors make so much power is because you don't have to do very much to get them to live.
Absolutely, Honda has one of the finest materials on the mains that we ever see.
Wow.
So I agree with that completely. So that's sort of the stuff that we're doing in here.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more to withstand the abuse of these people pushing these motors way beyond the limit.
Exactly.
Like my engine, the TSX motor is rated at 200 horsepower stock.
Okay.
I'm trying to go for 800. That's 4 times what the engine was designed for. Yeah. So I mean, you got to add some stuff. You got to change things, but it's really not that difficult. Most shelf parts will get these motors to live at that kind of power.
Absolutely.
It's really surprising.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm a Honda guy.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So this looks like the end of the line here.
This is it. That was from beginning to end essentially. It starts from our receiving department. I showed you how we manufacture the sleeves, and it finishes up in our QC room, out the door.
Yeah, you know, I never realized how much you guys actually put into these sleeves because I've heard of some other companies and they'll make the sleeves, then they'll get installed like out of house, but I mean, you guys do everything under one roof. You check everything, you quality control everything. You know, I mean, that's what a great American product is.
It's true, and honestly, we have a number of dealers throughout the United States, actually globally, that can install our sleeves. Who we've qualified their shops. We know the work that they do is really good. There are many shops out there that, I mean, they exceed anything that we can do. They're so good.
Yeah.
So it's not that we need to put the sleeves in to make our product better. We put the sleeves in because we can.
Yes.
And so we offer the service so that we know it works. That's really the only reason we do it. If for anybody who's around the United States or around the world, they ask us for install centers, we'll send them to who we know that can put our product in properly.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what? Like this extra step with the quality control, where you actually have what is the name of this device?
Computerized measuring module.
Oh, okay.
CMM.
Oh, CMM. That's it.
CMM,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I've heard that before, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you guys actually have one.
And we got two.
You guys got two. Oh, okay.
We got two.
So there's
We're-
one more over there, Tim.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, this is great. You know what? I really liked what you guys do, but now that I've actually came here and actually had a tour and see what goes into this, you know, I feel confident that this motor is never going to give me any trouble whatsoever.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for the tour, and I know my block is in good hands, so just give me a call when it's ready.
Thank you so much. We'll get this done for you as quickly as we always do.
Yeah.
We're going to do a good job for you. For you guys, we're going to be at SEMA 2018. Come by and see us at our booth, and we'll have everything there for you guys. And I wish you the best.
Yeah, hopefully we can see you there.
Okay.
You have a nice day, man.
All right. Take it easy. Thank you.
Come on, Tim, let's go. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and check out our next videos. I'll see you guys later.
Red?
Washing this motor. Dirty.
It's dirty.
Yeah, she's a dirty girl.
Where are we taking this motor off to, man?
LA Sleeves.
LA Sleeves. Dang.
We're in LA today.
Oh, sweet. You couldn't pressure wash this, or is this easier?
A little both.
Nice.